Hello there. So we wanted to help you with Chapter 6 now. This is Test A. Students received this back, and now they're on the green retest for Chapter 6. But in case you need some extra support, I thought I would put this on the YouTube channel so that you can see exactly what is done for each of these problems. Starting off, number 1, write the percent as a decimal. So easily, you remember that if a number has no decimal, yep, that's right, the decimal goes behind the number. So it'd start back here, and then if you're taking the percent and trying to get away from it, you run away 2 places. Always when you move for a percent, you always go twice. So this is going to equal 0.5. Same goes here. Run away! You're going to have to move 2 places. Moving around the 0 is 1, but you're going to have to add an extra 0. So it's going to be 0.001. Now if you're trying to go toward the percent, you do 2 times going toward the percent and add the percent sign. Go toward. And then you put the percent sign. So number 1 is 0.5, number 2 is 0.001, and number 3 is 4%. Those are each only with 2 points. Pretty easy. Next, number 4 and 5 asks you to use the table that shows the results of a class poll. But in order for you to compare percents, fractions, and decimals, you need to change them all to the same language. I prefer decimals. So you'll see that the bottom 2 are already in decimals, and look at what's been done above, as I drink some water, to change the others to decimal form. Same goes for what we just did. We're going to change 18% to be 0.18. Again, run away. And 82% to be 0.82. Run away. 14 over 25, I like to convert it to over 100 because 25 goes into 100 with a scale factor of multiplying by 4. So 14 times 4 is 56. I know 56 over 100 equals 0.56. Same here, 25 times 4 is 100, so 11 times 4 is 44. 44 over 100 equals 0.44. Remember, this is said 44 hundredths, just like this is said 44 hundredths. These others were already in decimal form. So now you're going to look which category in the table shows the least portion of the class. So you're looking for the smallest decimal amount. That would be the 0.18, which is, do you walk to school? Yes. So the answer I wrote was those who walk to school. However you communicated that the students that do walk to school is the least portion, that would be best. Next, number 5 says, which is less, the number of students with a pet or the number who play on a sports team? Well, they're just looking at these 2 circled numbers. Those with a pet, that means column yes for with a pet, and column yes for do you play on a sports team. So 0.56 and 0.42, 0.56 is more. So the answer is, oh, the question is, which is less? So watch out for that. I was thinking more, so you're going to have to double check, read your questions again. Which is less, the number of students with a pet or the number who play on a sports team? Sports team is less. So I wrote those on a sport team, period. Now we're into proportions again, just like Chapter 5, talking about proportions. So we're going to use our favorite formula, percent over 100 equals is over of, many different times. Here you'll see we used cross products to solve. Here we used the shortcut to solve. But let's stop and look at number 6 for just a second. If ever you are given the percent number and the of number, of means to multiply. So you can take an extra easy step of multiplying times 50 this number that is the percent. But you want to change the percent to a decimal. So again, run away, and it becomes 0.22 times 50. Now remember, you get your answer, you count the decimal places from above, make the answer have the same total decimal places. So the answer is 11 for number 6. We have our favorite formula. It is percent over 100 equals, you know it, say it out loud. I know people are there watching you, but nobody really matters other than you knowing it. Equals is over of. And this is our favorite to help us with proportions. It always, always works. So if you're looking at number 7, you always see the percent number first. That's the easiest one to find. It's the number right in front of the percent sign, and it always goes over 100. This bottom left is always 100. So 35 over 100 equals. Then you look for the of number, but this number, or this problem has no of number. It says what number. So I use the variable n. Then last, you look for the is number, because it's kind of tricky. Sometimes it's in front, sometimes it's behind. It's somewhere around the word is. The of number is right after the word of. The percent number is right before the word percent or the percent sign, but the is number is somewhere around it. So once you've got this set up, you're able to see, are there any shortcuts? For this one, there wasn't. So we're going to multiply cross products. 35 times n is 35n. 100 times 21 is 2100. Divide by the coefficient on both sides. Again, learn the proportion song, know the steps, feel confident, believe that you've got it. 2,100 divided by 35 is going to have 2 digits. Does 35 go into 2? No. 21? No. 210? Yes. So you have a digit here and a digit on top of the other, and it will go in exactly 60 times. So number 7, n equals 60. Number 8. Setting it up, really important, so we use the labels to help set it up. Do we know the percent number? No, because it says what percent. And if ever you don't know the percent number, if you could please use the variable p, that will help you at the end to remember to put the percent sign. So usually I use n, but if ever I'm finding the percent, I'll use p to remind me the answer will be a percent, and I need to put that label at the end. Okay, so I don't know the percent, so it's going to be p over 100. Then, easy to find is the of number. It's 56, and it goes on the bottom. And then 70 is the is number. It goes on the top. Now, immediately I see an improper fraction, so I know my answer is going to have to be more than 100. And it is. Yay! P times 56 is 56p. 100 times 70 is the same as 1 times 7, which is 7. And then you count 1, 2, 3 zeros, so it's 7,000. Divide by the coefficient on both sides. 56 into 7,000 is going to go 125 times exactly, and then it's terminating all the way done. So P equals 125%. Number 9, again, percent over 100 equals is over of. It says what percent, so I use P over 100. Of 68, so 68 is the of number, goes on the bottom, is 17. It's the is number, goes on the top. Now I see a relationship. 68 divided by 4 is 17. So 100 divided by 4 is 25. Think about 4 quarters in a dollar. P equals 25%. Number 10. What number is 16% of 80? So 16 goes over 100. 80 is the of number. We don't know the is number. Cross products. 100 times n is 100n. 16 times 80 is 1,280. Got to do the math. It's right there. And then you divide by the coefficient of 100 on both sides. That's the same thing as Mr. T, where you start behind the number, because if a number has no decimal, the decimal goes behind the number. And Mr. T, if you multiply, you're going to move to the right, but dividing is the opposite, so you're going to move to the left. Since the power of 10 number has 2 zeros, you can move to the left 2 times, and you get 12.8. Always works. Easy, cool trick. We got to email Mr. T. If one of you wants to do that, that would be extra credit. Okay, number 11. Increasing your math test score by 14 is good. What percent did you increase if you had 50 questions total? So, percent you don't know. So it's going to be P over 100 equals 14 out of 50. So you increased by 14 out of 50. 14 more problems right out of 50. That's pretty good. There's a shortcut. 50 times 2 is 100, so 14 times 2 would be 28. The answer is 28%. You got 28% better. Nice. Next page. Okay. Identify the percent of change as an increase or a decrease. Then find the percent of change. Round to the nearest tenth of a percent if necessary. I made the problems easy so you didn't have to round. First off, if the price goes up 15 books to 21, that's an increase. So the first half was increase. 60 to 24, that was a decrease. Now, the formula is very similar, and you can see it in your ISN page 65 notes. how it compares. That tree map really will help you with your thinking process. So you've got P over 100, because you're finding the percent, on the left side for both problems. Next, you don't see the number 6, but it's the difference. It's how much the number changed. So you take 21 and 15, and you actually subtract. 21 minus 15 is 6, and that's where the 6 came from. So this is you thinking. That's the only time that you use the 21. You'll notice there's no 21 in the whole problem. You just use it to find the difference of what the price used to be and what it became, or what the amount used to be and what it became. Then you already have the original amount as the from number. Now from has the letter OF in it, those two letters, and it reminds you that it goes down in the same spot as the of number. It's also the original number that you start with if you don't get it in the from to format. So it's whatever the original price was, whatever the original amount was, that's the denominator for the right side. The amount that it changed, either going up or down, doesn't matter, is the numerator, and the original price or the beginning number that you start with or the from number is the denominator. Now you can use shortcut or cross products. Here we have P times 15 is 15P, 100 times 6 is 600, divide by 15 on both sides, and you get P equals 40%. Same here, 60 minus 24 is 36. That's the difference. Then you're going to multiply diagonally. P times 60 is 60P. 100 times 36 is 3,600. Divide by the coefficient 60 on both sides, and you will get P equals 60%. The next part is find the sale price or selling price. For both of these, two parts remain the same. You change the percent to a decimal, and you multiply it by the cost. So this is going to be 0.1, 10% is 0.1, times 32, and you get 3.2. In money, 3.2 turns out to be $3.20. That's your 10% discount. Now if the cost was $32, for a discount you're going to subtract. So you use your borrowing techniques, or however you want to get the difference, and find $28.80 as the sale price. This area was really good to help you with your essay on the back, but some people didn't even bother to look at it. It tells you the discount is called the sale price at the end, and then after the markup it's called the selling price. Now a markup is just that. You're going to be adding instead of subtracting. Discount you subtract, markup you're going to be adding. But the first part stays the same. You change 16% to a decimal, so it's 0.16, and multiply it by the cost, $82, and you get $13.12. Now, for the markup, you add the $82 plus the $13.12, and you get $95.12 as your selling price. Numbers 16 and 17 and the rest of the problems on this page are all going to use the simple interest formula. So I'm going to do that next video.